Mr. Moderator, Reverend Clee, brothers and sisters, friends, and I see some enemy. In fact, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we had an audience this large and didn't realize that there were some enemies.
Mask on, trying to maneuver through this habitat. COVID through a curve, 6 feet to try and flatten that. Sure they got a cure, can't release it till they.
Welcome everybody, we back. It's the One Against the Grain podcast.
Episode number 2.
Yes, ma'am. Episode 1 was a success.
It was a success. Before we go into that, can we just talk about that hitter that was just playing for our intro? Who was that artist?
Wow, hold on.
Who was that?
Hey,
I think we have a superstar for real, like celebrity rapper.
That was an original song by myself. I used to get down back in the day a little bit.
I didn't know that when.
Yeah, like high school, a little bit after high school.
Right now.
I can't speak.
You ain't no real MC. You ain't got bars.
But look, I did used to get down to those that know me. You know what I mean? You know, I messed around a little bit. I thought I was coming out of high school. I thought I was gonna be like the next Jay-Z. Then I let it go.
Okay. Well, at least you know when to let it go. Because a lot of people just don't know when to let it go. But
we have fun doing it. It's a meaningful little jingle. You know what I mean?
I loved it when I heard it and saw it. And I was like, wait, what? Brownie, that's you. So I thought that was dope and a great addition to add to our podcast.
Appreciate it. Well, y'all, welcome back. You know what I mean? This episode 2, like we said, we got a special guest in the building today for y'all. Robert Turbin, running back, Super Bowl champ. Running back of the Seattle Seahawks. He's going to be joining us today. That's going to be very exciting.
Right? Bay Area native. Yeah. So this is a real Oakland Bay Area native episode.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about. So we're going to just go ahead and get into it. But before we do that,
yes.
This was the 5th anniversary of So Oakland. Can you please talk to the people about that?
Let me just take my moment real quick. No, thank you.
You know what I mean?
You can keep bowing the whole time I discuss it. It's okay. But no, like the time from the beginning, from our first episode to now, I celebrated my 5th anniversary for So Oakland. I received a proclamation from the mayor in 2015 declaring July 30th officially So Oakland Day in the city of Oakland. And so I thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. So it was real dope, just the outpour, the responses, the shares, and just because it's COVID and we couldn't, because usually I would be having a festival right about now. So we couldn't have my festival, but it was just so many dope shout outs and love that was shown online. So I'm really looking forward to next year. And I know for me, getting this proclamation, people will be like, oh my gosh, Shayla, you got a day. And I'll be like, no, like I didn't do all this work for me. Like it wasn't about, it's not Shayla Day. It was So Oakland Day. And I wanted to make sure that I carried this on and created legacy. It's like we grew up in the time of Festival at the Lake. And so
a lot of people don't remember Festival at the Lake.
Man.
You know what's amazing to me is just seeing, something start from a seed, you know what I mean, and grow to what it is. A lot of people don't understand the culture, the tradition at Oakland. Oakland got a lot of history, you know what I mean?
History.
So I think So Oakland helps along with everything that's going on around Lake Merritt right now. Although I feel like some of y'all need to go home until this COVID is over. You know what I mean?
They not go home though.
But at the end of the day, man, Oakland got a lot of culture. I was young walking around the festival at the lake, so I remember.
I was like 13 with my aunt, and she
had no money for vendors and none of that.
But it was like during that time when I was like that age, I was just like looking at the little boys, and I remember going with my auntie, and my auntie is like my age now then, and she had her little updo, the little freeze that Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B are wearing in the WAP video. That's what my aunt was rocking, and I remember watching some of the videos. I actually Googled it on YouTube probably like a couple months ago, just Festival at the Lake, and it was just like you seen Drew down.
See, I was a youngster. I was still mesmerized with all the D-boys pulling up. You know what I'm saying? You see the perms and the 6'9" Cougars drops. That's what I was mesmerized with as a young boy going to the Festival of the Lake. So no, that was dope. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So Oakland. 5 years.
5 years.
You had some dope people come out and show love. That was incredible. Obviously, you well connected. That was dope.
I mean, shout out to Draymond. Shout out to Amanda Seals, Guapale, Yaya. Who else?
Oakland got love. The town got love.
And they love me, so I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, Brownie. So also, before we even go into our guests and all of that, let's talk about like the recap of the last episode. Like, what type of feedback did you get? I got some good.
Man, the feedback been great. I've been having like a lot of Capricorns want my neck right now.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I told them to come for you.
But they definitely came for me.
Because you were trying to come for us.
They definitely came for me. But after like as the week progressed, I really like let life just happen, and it kind of proved my point that I was absolutely right.
Yeah. Oh.
Capricorn. You know, and Capricorn. So my first example.
Here we go.
My first example.
Why does he always do this?
My first example, my sister, LaToya Harris, is a Capricorn, right? She's not here today.
Hey,
right? She's not here today, right?
Right.
This is grind week.
Yeah.
Capricorn, we don't want to go into it, but Capricorns are great people. I love y'all to death. But that I just prove myself as time goes on when it's time to get it out the mud.
Jesus was a Capricorn. So don't you ever come for Capricorns, ever.
Allegedly.
That's the end of it. The beginning and the end. We don't need to say anything more. That's about it. But real talk, the feedback has been amazing. And I think that has got me all fueled up and pumped and ready for this episode because people want more.
Yeah.
And
I definitely, at the end of that, I feel like we headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
I definitely think we headed in the right direction. The feedback was
all
great.
These great things.
And we having fun. That's
of course.
That's the main thing. We having a great time.
You're here with me.
We're having a good time. Yeah.
I'm the queen. Okay. So other than that, the recap, and we're talking about the first episode. What else? Is there anything else that you want to intro and talk about before we go into our guests? We need to catch people up on.
No, we got to get this COVID thing is driving me crazy. You know, barbershops are still shut down.
Man.
And right now we don't have
for 5 months since March.
Well, they opened us back up, then they closed us back down.
Okay, because you're Contra Costa.
No, well, you know,
But you don't have any.
I have something. County. Yes, Oakland. We got Oakland shop, right?
Oh, I know.
At least 8701 International. Y'all look us up. KJ's Barbershop in Oakland.
Okay.
But they opened us up for like 3 weeks to a month. Then they shut us back down, and now it's kind of like we're shut back down. They're saying we can open outdoors. That's kind of weird because it's 109 degrees outside or 100 degrees outside, kind of difficult to work. So now we're in this gray area where the governor's like shut down, but we don't have any answers.
No,
you know what
answers.
I mean? We don't have like no solution, no nothing. We just kind of left everybody hanging. So we kind of in a different spot, a weird spot. A lot of the barbers are trying to figure out, you know, how, you know, what their next move is going to be.
Exactly. They still got to make that money, especially people who do that. Like, that's what they do full time, and that's their bread winnings there. Like, I can't imagine just being all of a sudden you have the security and the stability, and then it's just completely gone and taken away from you for the last 5, 6. What they said, the governor's talking about this going into Christmas, even maybe.
And that's the thing is when you don't have like, and it seems like small businesses are the ones that's being attacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like it's hard when you walk into, you know, you see 400 people walking into Costco. You know what I mean? And then and then you like and the barber industry is one of the most like, we went to school to like sanitation. Like that's a lot of people think when they go to barber college, they getting ready, or beauty cosmetology school, they're getting ready to learn how to do hair or learn how to cut hair.
Yeah.
No, barber college, apprentice classes, all the above is about number one, sanitation.
Yeah.
When you go to Fairfield and take that exam, Fairfield, California, that's what the barber exam is, and cosmetology exam, it's all about the cosmetology and barber exam is out there. When you go out there to take that, the only thing he's looking for is how clean you are. He don't care what kind of, he don't care if you got the crispiest line. They want to know how safe you are.
Concerned about, right? With COVID, right?
Fact.
Sanitized. So I completely agree with you on that. But I think we kind of talked about something last episode, but off air, where you were talking about the reasoning why the barber industry, the beauty industry is not really taken seriously, or not their concern, because taxes and money.
Yeah. So that's another thing is, a lot of it, if you were to Google barber salaries, you would find it would probably say something around $13 an hour, $14 an hour, right?
Yeah.
But they're basing that on barbers who work under a payroll system, not even so much a commission system, but it's going to be based on, let's say, like a supercuts or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of basing it on that. When you have like a booth rental system, and you have a system where you got really in the barbershop, you have, say if you have 12 chairs, you got 12 entrepreneurs. Everybody has their own business. And so it's kind of a matter of what, everybody, they want to try to track kind of what's going on. So we're in a transition period. The barber industry is in a transition period. I think we're under attack. I don't want to say that we're the sole reason behind, everything, because nail salons are getting hit. A lot of restaurants are getting hit. But it just seems as if, small business is taking the brunt of the load right now. So
because it was this big thing when they first started giving out the business loans, or the grants, or the money, or the stimulus packages to the businesses, and they gave Roof Chris $10 million. Or was it was maybe $20 million to Roof Chris, and to Shake Shack, I believe they gave $10 million. And everybody kept going after Shake Shack, making it that they gave it back. They gave it back.
I saw a politician speak, and he said something to I forget the name, what politician it was, but we were talking about the barber and salon industry, because in Atlanta there was a big push to open those things, and a lot of us thought that, okay, they want to open up black businesses, so we go out and get Corona first. So that was the thing. And a politician spoke and said, well, I don't necessarily know if we can build an economy around barbering. And so that's really, how it's viewed. But a lot of great people in that industry. It makes a lot of people feel great about themselves. A lot of families are being taken care of through the barbering and cosmetology. So
it's survival of the fittest right now. People just got to do what they got to do to survive and take care of their families. And if that's them cutting when they're not supposed to, like, do you be safe, but do you? Like, you got to survive. Like, it's the worst feeling is being an adult and broke. That shit doesn't feel good.
I think for the most part, people just want answers.
They just want answers, but I don't think they even know.
And it reflects leadership. You know what I'm saying? We got horrible leadership in this country right now, and I think everything that's going on kind of reflects leadership at some point. But I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to walk into, when I got to close all my barbershops, and then you walk into a Home Depot, it's wide open. You walk into Best Buy. Why do we need a Best Buy right now? Why do we need all these places? But they wide open. So it's definitely a head scratcher. A lot of my barber brothers reach out to me. A lot of shop owners reach out to me, and we talk about it. It's frustrating, but we get through it. We're resilient.
Of course, we're resilient. That's we used to stuff like this. So this isn't the first time we're being tested. But are you ready for our guest?
Yes, we're definitely ready.
I'm ready for our guest.
Robert Turbin. We're gonna get into
it. From the Seahawks. Coming up next.
We back. We got a very special guest in the house. My dog, Robert Turbin, Seattle Seahawks running back, Super Bowl champ. Man, what's up with my guy?
What's up with it? What's up with it?
Glad to have you, brother.
I appreciate that, man.
Oakland native too. How you feel being back in the town?
I'm telling you, bro. I was just about to say something about being in Oakland for real. Like, before we get started, like, I'm pulling up. I get off the freeway. I'm like, man, I get off on 27th Broadway. My grandma used to have two houses right on 37th Street in the West and 34th. One up there on Montgomery Street over by where the cemetery is. I'm just like, man, it feel good.
Feel good to be back.
Yeah, it feel good to be back in Oakland. Like, it just feel different. Like, just, I don't know, just bringing back so many memories, just riding through, like, on my way over here. Like, I'm like, man, I ain't been to Oakland in a minute.
That was one of the things too with the podcast. We was like, man, I gotta go back to the essence. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do it. It ain't gonna feel right if we don't do it up in it. You know what I mean? We gotta do it in the town.
But with you being in Oakland, having been out here in so long and seeing everything the way that it is, like, how do you feel? Because you know Oakland's being hit hard with gentrification. So
yeah, it looks a lot different. I mean, like the feel is the same though, and that's I think what's most important. Like I think change is inevitable. Yeah, everywhere you go, like eventually, like there's gonna be some differences, you know. But as long as like it feel the same, then it's still home at the end of the day for me.
And when I see the gentrification too, when I see that, I feel like it exposes some things that we're gonna talk about later on in the show. A lot of politics. It exposes, you know, power and ownership, and those are things we're gonna dig into a little bit later with y'all. 100%. But I think it does. You know what I mean? So, but that's never here or there. Every big city is dealing with it. So.
Oh yeah, right. We're glad to have all around the world, different countries and shit. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to be on this on the podcast. Like when y'all was starting it, you know. I'm like, man, like I know originally, like he's like, man, we want to get the podcast going, and we're not really concerned about having guests on the show, you know. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, if you don't have me on the show, eventually, bro, I better be like in the top 5, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying. I got some things I gotta say.
Because those are the questions that Brownie would be like, I don't know, should we? I'm like, come on, like, why? It's the time. Do it. He want to come, bring him. Please.
Yeah, man, I definitely want to be a part of this thing and support what you guys are doing. I love the name of it. I love what you guys have done. Yeah, I love what you guys have done like so far.
Thank you.
Everybody's that's involved, the production and everything like that. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see people like do things that they're passionate about, but do it with like so much effort. Not bush league. You know, you're not settling for like the minimum, you know what I'm saying, like way to do something. Like you putting in full 100% effort, and it's just beautiful to see.
I'm thankful. I appreciate you saying that, man. And I'm just thankful to have some good, you know, people around me. You know, I made the phone call to all the guys, man. They just came through, and everybody been supportive, man. So it's and I think we on to something great. You know what I mean?
We
so
are.
I do too. Keep pushing.
We are.
I do too.
I believe that.
Now, what before she starts, I want to let you know
because she ready.
I want to let you know. Look,
because she was.
I cannot
like this.
Look.
When I first walked in, I got it right here.
I can't protect you either.
Is there anything
I can't protect you.
Want to talk about?
I did.
Look,
respectfully.
I cannot
nails and everything, bro. Like it's like more intimidating.
I cannot play online for you in this situation.
I'm gonna need
you gonna have to take this hit.
I'm like, bro, like, and I remember like he warned me about you. Like he came to the house. He cut my hair Friday.
She's the yin to my yang. Yeah, pretty much.
He told me. And it's like, I'm talking about, bro, I had just walked in. First of all, I didn't know I was going to get the temperature check. Yeah. I walked in, temperature check. And I'm like, oh.
Shout out to Evolve.
I'm like, wait, I had to business correctly. I was like, what? Temperature check. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, COVID, whatever. Like it registered eventually, but like I've been chilling.
Bro, you know what's so dope about the people down here at Evolve? Yeah. What's so dope about them is I don't care who you is. If you're a little warm, they gonna say, "Hey, bro, can you stand aside a little bit?"
Yeah,
they not playing.
Like something. My heart kind of like sunk a little bit because I'm like, okay, like I hope my shit cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm cool, bro.
I did fly to Vegas last night.
Yeah, bro, we was out last night. Like I had a birthday party. Like I'm cool. Then I get the temperature check. Then I get that, and then here comes bang bang. I like that. I'm a big nickname person. You know, if I give you a nickname, that mean like I think you like cool. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully like it's unique enough that nobody's ever called you that before.
No, you're the first. I'll say that.
That's what you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like bang energy.
What? Either one.
I buy the 32 pack from Costco. I drink the bang energy. Because it don't got no lot of calories.
Right. This is natural. This is just the natural.
And she got the bang energy.
I do.
She do, bro.
I do.
I mean, she can't like. I'm talking about like, bro. You warned me about. I just walked in, bro. I ain't even got a chance to look to see what was around me or nothing. Like the building is just. So. Is there anything that is off limits? Like this, the part, the fingers was the part that got me, bro. I was just like, bro. And the first thing in my mind that I thought it was like, bro, Blendz told me she was, she was on another level, bro. She told me. He told me, dog.
Hey, one against the grain. I just want us to be open and candid and comfortable and no judgment.
So get into it.
Okay. So I know that you were a part of Russell Wilson's wedding, right?
I
Best
was.
man?
Yeah.
No? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you guys are really good friends, right?
Yeah.
So
basically the best man in there.
Okay.
I gave the best speech.
Okay.
The best toast.
Okay.
You know, like it was the first time ever I gave like a toast, like you know the ones you see in the movies where it's like somebody stand up and they give like this speech, you know, and then it's like toast to the new couple. Like I did one of them. Yeah. But it was kind of organized because like, you know, everybody had an opportunity. If you were a groomsman, you had an opportunity to go up in front of everybody, give a speech about Russ and Sierra. Yeah. You know, I had the best one. I feel like, for sure. I took the longest time. Yes. Oh the wine hit a little bit different in Europe. We were in Liverpool.
So not to cut you off, but what is that like? Such a high profile wedding. Everybody's all in the media on a daily basis. You walk in there. What is it like? Is it like a Hollywood catwalk, cameras? What is that like?
First of all, I'm living in San Diego at the time. Okay. All right, I'm living in San Diego at the time. You know, I get the email from Russ and Sierra, the invite to the wedding and everything like that. Russ, you know, he live in San Diego too in the off season, you know, and so sometimes we work out together, whatever. But anyway, he like, look, and Russ is like, listen, I'm super last minute, but Russ is like super last minute. Like he don't give you nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like be there, boom, this time. You like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get my shit together. Yeah. So we you know, we fly to Liverpool. We take a private jet all the way to Europe.
You say that so humbly. Okay,
keep going. We did. You know, listen, I'm like, damn, like I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. You know, I mean, like obviously it doesn't surprise me, but I'm like, damn, this is clear. We on the private jet. Blah, blah, blah. You know, we having fun on there. We doing karaoke and singing oldies and shit like that. Like it's a real cool vibe, real cool, humble vibe and everything, man. So we fly all the way to Europe, man. We get in the whip. We show up at a real castle, bro. Uh-huh. Like I'm talking about like knights. Oh shit. Like metal knights and standing like I don't know, I don't know if there was people in the motherfuckers or not. Like I don't know if there was like a person standing in the uniform or if it was just the knight like for decoration, but like it's knights, bro. Like
you in full tuxedo.
No. We just got there, so we you know you just in you know whatever chill travel attire. You know what I'm saying? We get there, I'm like, damn, this is clean. Like, bro, I ain't never seen a castle. Yeah. Especially like one in Europe, you know it's been there forever. Like it's got that old look, you know, like some Notre Dame type shit, you know. And so but it's like a hotel. Yeah. Like they changed it's a castle with all these rooms and shit like that. They turned it into a hotel, so that's where we're staying at. So that was like, so right away it was like boom, we on some big time shit. Yeah. Like you know, immediately. Yeah. The whole experience was just crazy. It was dope. Like, you know, I talk about Russell like not giving you no information. Like obviously like I don't know what to pack. I done packed some shit. Yeah. Like, you know, we have this rehearsal dinner, you know, and the rehearsal dinner, I'm like, okay, I got something for the rehearsal dinner. At least I thought, you know, until I found out that it was like a black tie event. You know what I'm saying? That's what
So you wasn't in touch with like a wedding coordinator that gave you the whole, or somebody that gave you the whole get down? Or you just wasn't returning your text?
It's different, like when you the real homie.
Yeah, I got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you the real, you know what I'm saying? Like when you the real homie, you don't get no information, bruh. You like, bruh, you just there. You like, bruh, I need you, we here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bruh, black tie, like what? Right. Yeah. So I had to get a taxi, go to the mall, like that day, you know, and I'm like, you know, and taxis, like, you know, taxis are, you know, you never know what you're gonna get out of the taxi. Yeah. You can tell a taxi to sit there and wait for you. And say, yeah, sure, yeah, I'll wait.
And as soon as Ubers out there?
No Ubers, bruh. As soon as you get out the whip, step out, the taxi gone. Leave your ass. You know what I'm saying? Out of there. You know, but you know, long story short, you know, went to the mall, you know, got my shit, whatever. Yeah. Went to the rehearsal dinner, gave the speech and everything like that. It was beautiful, man.
That's dope.
The wedding was so beautiful, bruh. Like I'm not really like you know, emotional, touchy, you know, feely kind of dude or whatever.
What's your sign?
But I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah, we go hard. I know we you know, we go hard. You know, we're consistent. We're the most consistent like sign out of all of them. We don't got two personalities and shit like that. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we one way. You know, we one way. You know what I'm saying? I like being a Sag. You know, we deep.
Yeah,
you feel
we
me?
deep. It's big Sag. It's sad. This Sag's business. I'm trying to tell.
We deep.
This Sag's business.
But the wedding was great, man. One of the dopest parts about it was after the ceremony, we do you know, the reception. We go, and this is all at the castle. We go to this spot that they built, and you know, we in this little, it's like a dance floor. It's outside where you can get drinks and shit like that. And there's this curtain that's closed, man. They open up the curtains, man. Yeah. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Perform live, bro. Live, bro. And I was like, bro, you know, and I'm an old soul. You know, so I listened to a lot of music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
So you grew up with moms waking up Sunday morning, Saturday morning, moms cleaning the house.
Cleaning the house.
100%, bro. And so, like, to see them perform live and, like, you know, cause I'm a musician myself. I play the drums, I play the piano. So I'm really, like, I'm not only listening to like.
That's what I keep telling people about Sagittarius. See, everybody was like, he just dropped a song. I didn't know he dropped, but like Sagittarius, we just do all kind of shit, and whatever we do, we tend to like take it to that next level.
We don't do nothing half speed.
No, we don't do like mediocrity. I can't stand mediocrity.
We don't do nothing half speed. Now we might not be the best at it, but we gonna put 100% in it.
For sure.
It was dope.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's dope.
I don't even remember what the question was.
Right. Okay. So thank you for that breakdown. But my question, with experiencing that wedding and Russell Wilson as like your best friend and seeing their relationship and being around it, how do you feel? So there's this thing that people have pretty much put Russell Wilson and Ciara on this pedestal of like the poster child and couple of like Black love. And do you feel that it has added a lot of pressure to your relationship possibly, or do you look at them and like pretty much like, okay, this is what I want my relationship to be like?
You know, I think everybody is different.
Yeah.
I don't feel no pressure.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody should.
Yeah.
I also don't feel like anybody should look at their relationship and be like, I want my relationship to be like that.
Yeah.
Now maybe you take some, you know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, right? Yeah. You want to incorporate it into your life, right? Yeah. Be like, man, you know, Russell is he a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a real man.
Yeah.
I was there when it all went down. We were in Arizona before the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? When Ciara first DM'd him. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the room going crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, Ciara just DM'd me. Bro, shut the fuck up, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the room like, bro, please be quiet, bro. Let me show you.
So Ciara sent the DM. I didn't know that. Is that public knowledge? The world know about that? Because I didn't know that.
Ciara reached out.
That's dope.
That's
dope. Shoot your shot then.
And I said that in my speech.
Women should do. I'll be sliding.
Yeah, you know, that's okay. You know, it's whatever. She reached out. You know, I talked about it in my speech at the wedding because I was there when the whole thing went down. Yeah. So he showed me the message, and I'm like, you know, my eyes are just like, I'm tripping now. Like all my game knowledge for like 15 minutes just left me. Like I didn't know what to do. He like, bro, what should I say back? And I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
You like tell her pull up.
You know what I'm saying? So
tell her to pull up.
I had to step outside and like I had to step outside and do like a little like, come on, Turbo, man. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if he leaning on you.
Like you better act like you done talked to a woman before, man. Act like you got some game. You Turbo, man. Let's go, nigga. Your boy needs you right now, man. You know what I'm saying? He trying to respond, bro. But here's the thing about Russ though. Because I really had to go out. I had to go outside and get my mind right, bro. Because I was tripping. I'm like, damn, bro. So I walked back in the room, bro. Russell sitting, he laying on the bed with his leg crossed like this. Just chilling with his little, with that little Russell Wilson smirk on his face.
For sure.
And I'm looking like, what happened, bruh? What did you say?
I asked her to marry me on the first conversation.
Yeah. You never know, bro. You never know what's going on, bro. You never know, because he might say some slick shit.
Yeah.
But he might say some square shit. I'm gonna just keep it 100.
Balance. That's balance.
Like, for real, bro. I'm like, bro, what happened, bro?
Yeah.
And he like, it's good. You know what I'm saying?
They got an unsend feature now.
Oh, for real?
On the gram.
They didn't have it at that time. 2014.
He's gonna be like, no.
They didn't have it at that time.
So you gotta run that response through the proper.
I'm like, bro, what happened? What happened, bro? Long story short, it was good.
Yeah,
like it was good, bro.
That's a beautiful thing.
Then it just now as the homie.
Yeah.
See, the thing, it's real love with Russell. Yeah. I never really talked about my relationship with him because what's the point?
Yeah.
That's really my dog.
Yeah.
That's really my brother, bro.
Yeah.
I jump in front of like bullets for this man. For real. Like for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never felt the need to like express our relationship to nobody.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We both do our thing. And to be quite frank with you, it's like, he's an all-time great quarterback. And I see myself as a pretty great football player as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see myself as upper echelon as well. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I view myself
for
like that? You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I wouldn't put nobody on the pedestal. But it was him that, when I got signed to Seattle at the end of last season, that put it out in the open. Like, me and Turbo, man, like,
and you were drafted by the Seahawks.
Yeah, but let me finish telling you about the the story with Russell and Sierra. So everything was he telling me like it's good. So the history is obviously history, but in the middle of it, like, I'm still the homie.
Yeah.
And like the thing that makes me a different type of friend for Russ is where I come from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his surroundings don't got the background like I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They not cut from like the cloth that I'm cut from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when I holla at Russ, it's a different from a different vantage point.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'ma holla at you, bro.
Sure.
Like, I'm not kissing ass or nothing like that. Nigga, I'm like really finna give it to you, bro, because you my nigga. Because I'll take a bullet for you. Yeah. So if I don't really give it to you like it's like I'm supposed to, then I'm not really your best friend, bro. Yeah. I'm really not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm fake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna demonstrate that to you. How I'm not like these other cats. So it's like, bruh, okay, this is all fun and games and shit like that, but let's get real for a second. You sure about this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be real. As your friend, bruh, you sure about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see who she fucking with or who she used to fuck with, right? Yeah. Let's just be real for a second, bro. I'm not talking shit about nobody. I'm just being real because that's my friend. Yeah. I'm telling him this.
Yeah.
I'm telling him this.
Yeah.
You paying attention to who she used to fuck with, right?
Yeah.
She got a son, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you cool with that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you understand, like, the battle that you up against and what you taking on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Russell, listen, I could sit here and say, like, I ain't never met a realer man. You feel me? Like, whether that's true or not, but, like, deep down, like, that's how I feel. Like, he's literally, like, one of he's real, bro. A lot of people on the outside looking in, like, they see like his interviews and he is square and he this and he that. Like, bruh, he married a woman. That's hard. Yeah. Who messed with somebody who used to mess with somebody, low key connected to the streets, and got a son by him. Like, if we being real, if the tables were turned. You feel me? Like if I'm in that situation, I told him, I'm like, bro, if I'm in that situation, I don't know.
Man, and the thing is, like, when Shayla mentioned black love, a lot of times when you see that hashtag, it's always like on a picture where you got like the dopest moment where y'all like, you know what I'm saying, y'all in bliss somewhere and shit.
Yeah.
But like, it don't like, I heard somebody posted a quote by Nipsey, and one of my favorite quotes by Nipsey when he said, you know, I can't sit here and show y'all my success if I don't show y'all my struggle too.
Yeah.
Like a part of like Black love is being able to go through like all of shit
That's
and then come out of it and sit back and look like we, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what social media talking about when they be like, okay, when they like, he did this, but he did that, he did this, but he, no, like if you sit back and talk to somebody in their 70s, right? And we sit back and celebrate and we like, man, they've been together for 50 years. And we be like, oh, right? But if you sit back and hear their story, the amount of shit that they probably been through during that time is probably be incredible. You know what I'm saying? So like, in order for you to last, you gotta, so Black love, like, it's not just y'all on the yacht together with matching fits, you know what I'm saying? Or all that. It ain't that. It's about like it's about the times when you wake up and like, what the fuck is we doing? You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is all it's the whole picture. So
even with them, it was work. You know what I'm saying? Like we best friends. So even like in the beginning, like, you know, I mean, think about how difficult that was. Like, bro, gonna have some jealousy on the other side. You know what I'm saying? You know, he come from a different culture. You know what I'm saying? My nigga was threatened. You know what I'm saying? He telling me, you feel me? Cause you know he can tell me shit like that. And I'm like, bro, I'm from Oakland. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got to dive into that, if I got to make a phone call to dive into that to protect my dog, I will. You know what I'm saying? And so like, but he took, you know, he took he took Young Future as his own. You see it. I see it.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but putting football helmets on them and shit and doing drills out there, you know, in the yard with him and shit like that, bruh. Russell Wilson is a real man. You know what I'm saying? He's a real man.
Man, have you ever watched Last Chance U?
I have. I've seen like a couple episodes. I haven't seen like the whole season of it.
Got you. So
I've heard about it though. A lot of people talk about it. Coach Beam.
So recently, they had. So recently, they had legendary Coach Beam. You know, he was at Skyline when I went there. When that was my first interaction with him.
Too? You went to Laney?
Skyline.
Oh, you went to Skyline.
She went to Skyline. But when I showed up at Skyline, my 10th grade year, I said, oh, you know what? It looked like, you know, all the females is running behind all the football players. So me and my partner talked. We said, man, let's try it out.
That's funny.
So I went out. Look. So I went down there. I said, I'm finna give it a shot. I seen a couple of them. And mind you, I had never played Pop Warner, none of that. You know, I played. I played football. I played. I was kind of the baseball dude. I never really did the football. So I showed up.
Baseball was my first love.
Yeah, that was my first love too, man. I was everything baseball, Giants, A's, all that. But anyway, I go down there and I walk Beam in his office and I say, Dean, what do I sign up? I'm finna play. He looked at me, he looked down, he looked at my legs and he was like, man, what you about to do with those?
Oh, wow.
That
pissed me off.
But he pointed me in the direction of I think his name at the time was Coach Kev, if I remember. So I ended up going out, doing like a little JV stint, had a lot of fun. It was awkward, you know what I'm saying? Right. Everything was awkward. The pads was awkward. Right. Everything was awkward. A lot, you know. I think my first time out, I put my pads on backwards. I think somebody on varsity had to flip it around. Yeah. So it was awkward, but I'm a sage. I try anything. I tried everything. I think I played 2 games. And I think they had me playing strong safety at a game in Merritt College against Fremont High School. Yeah. And a friend of mine who named Tabidi Lockhart, which is a close friend, he was playing O-line, he was leading on the play. And I think I tried to use a run play, I tried to stick my head in there, and that's when I decided, I was like, you know what? That was fun. Right. Football ain't really my thing right now. It ain't my thing.
At least you do. At least you know.
It ain't for everybody, bro.
But
it really ain't.
Yes, but what was interesting about Last Chance U was something that really stuck out to me because Beam went on, he left Skyline, sent a lot of pros, sent a lot of cats to the pros, did a lot of good things in the community, like, you know, really could have went probably to the league, but he didn't. He kind of stayed local. But he went on to Laney as the athletic director. And I think he ended up coaching the team at some point. What stood out to me when I watched that show, and not just the Beam episode, but all the episodes, all the seasons I've seen, was how many of us, how I was able to watch a kid say, if I don't make it in football, I don't know what else I'm going to do.
Nothing else.
So I tried to find a balance in that and say, okay, I get it when you going 100% into your dreams and your goals and you trying to like, I'm all in. I'm the same way. When I get tunnel vision, when I'm focused on something, I'm all in. But I do feel like there's a issue in our community when it comes to we can be doctors, lawyers, brain surgeons. What is it about sports? Because realistically, to make it in the NFL and the NBA, that's really an unattainable thing. If you look at the averages, it's not really. You probably got a better chance getting struck by lightning if you look at it. If you look at an NBA team, they got 14 guys, 12 to 14 guys, right? It's millions of guys that think they got it. So you really talking about a dream that's kind of, in a sense, unattainable, right? There are some exceptions to that rule. That's why we have the NFL and the NBA. So why aren't we coming out of high school knowing about learning trades? Why aren't we thinking about being whatever? You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like they dangle. So you dangle, the media puts athletes, entertainers, in front of us, right? So you get a young kid at 17, 18. This is my opinion. You get a young kid, they like, okay, I want to be that. When I was growing up, it was like, first you start off in the neighborhood, you know, neighborhood ballers and D-boys, you see them, you know, they winning. They got all the women, they got all the money, they the most, they got all the respect. Then you get to a level, you're like, okay, it's the ball players and it's the rappers, and they dangle that in front of you, so you spend half your young life trying to chase that. Now you 25, 26, 27 years old, and it's not happening the way you thought it was going to work out for you. So now you're like, I'm 29 years old. I've been chasing an NBA dream or NFL dream my whole life. It didn't pan out. So now I'm like, now what do I do? The chances of you trying to say, okay, now I want to be a brain surgeon are very slim. So it's like they dangle this carrot in front of you on what we could be. So the public perception of what we can be is very limited. It's closed in. So now you end up saying, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work at Costco. You know what I'm saying? And that's the end of it. So how do you feel about, and you in that position? When you were in college, coming out of college, did you say, okay, is it all or nothing? Were you realistic about the fact that there's possibility I might make it to the league, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the league? Because, you know what I mean? What was your mindset going into that?
Yeah, you know, being realistic is it really just comes down to what you believe as an individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with you when you say that it's really unattainable because you're looking at percentages and you're looking at numbers. Like, yes, like in essence, those numbers and percentages are low. They used to tell me the same thing. Hey, Rob, you need to be more realistic about what you want to do with your life because from a percentage standpoint, it's likely you won't make it. Why would you tell somebody that? They can be anything they want to be. Now the problem is that it's culture. If you think about it, people become brain surgeons and doctors and other things like that more than likely because they grew up in an atmosphere where they believe that was attainable for them. So they set the goal for themselves to do that.
Or you saw that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You saw that. You saw a success. Like,
Exactly.
Like growing up, like the only successful like times you saw a black lawyer was or a doctor, you was watching the Cosby Show, right?
Right, exactly. And so that's why I'm saying culture, like your surroundings, your background, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's everything. You know what I'm saying? Like school, you know, what they're telling you and what they're teaching us, like these kids, these high school kids in school, like it's a big deal. Yeah. In my camps, the theme of my football camp is dream big, and it's a football camp. But when I'm talking about dreaming big, and I talk to the kids, it's not dream big about football necessarily. It's about anything you want to be in life. Yeah. You asked me, was it all or nothing in college? Of course it was all or nothing. Yeah. Of course. When you have a goal, okay, and you have to have a goal, that's the key. Yeah. Most people, where they struggle is that they don't even know what they want to do. Yeah. And that's cool for a little while, but eventually you got to have a goal. You got to give yourself purpose for something.
Yeah, but there's how many parents right now are have their kids in Pop Warner sports? Whether it's AAU basketball, whether it's Pop Warner football, how many moms are in the stands cheering and pushing a kid that realistically has zero shot of doing anything? And
probably a lot. But see,
how do you know that?
Well, it happens. If you're around enough coaches, if you're around a game enough, you'll see parents like pushing their kid, you feeling like they're gonna go pro, right? Yeah. But see, that's the thing. Like, it's the kid's life. Yeah. It's got to be his goal. Yeah. Like you can't see it for him. Yeah. You feel me? Like it's got to be their goal to attain. Why does it have to be their goal to attain? Because if you have a goal, and I was just talking about this on a podcast earlier, like how do you become successful? Because first of all, you gotta know what you want to do. Yeah. You gotta know what you want to be successful at. Mm-hmm. If it's football, great. Like that's great. Now, if it's for real, okay. The next thing that comes before anything else, before you put in any work, before you put in any studying, before you put in any effort or anything like that, this is just what I think. You got to believe in that. Yeah. You got to really be gravitated to what that goal is. Like, I want to be a producer. Yeah. Okay. Now, after you've said that to yourself, you've written it down or whatever, you've locked it in your mind. Now, when you look at yourself in the mirror, do you really believe that is an attainable goal for you? Mm-hmm. Do you really believe that? Yeah. Like, does it really gravitate, grab a hold on you?
I get that, but what I think what I'm trying to wrap my hand around is, why is the pool of options always seem to be limited to those things?
To football and
to sports,
yeah,
because entertainment. I
also feel like it's where you're from.
It's background. It's background.
Yeah,
and that falls on like that's not the kid's fault. Yeah, it really ain't. You know, and I'm not really trying to put blame on nobody, but it's like, listen, the schools, they gotta open, like they gotta like broaden the horizons a little bit on like
facts,
what you can become. Like,
I'm big
in life, and our parents and our guardians and like the people like in our households, like I've met people who like, you know, they grew up around dope dealers and they saw like kingpins in the dope game, and it was like, damn, like shit, I want to be like that too. Why? Because that's what they saw.
That's what they saw.
Remember
when I was telling you when I was watching Last Chance U and how the difference of like the one in Oakland versus the one that was in like Alabama?
Yeah.
And how the kids I felt there and where they're from, like football was all they knew and was the only way out of like their situation.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And it was like one kid, he was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with his mom, and it was like 6 of them. Yeah. And his brother before him almost made it to the NFL but didn't. So now all this pressure is on him to make it, but the education system out there was shitty. Yeah. Like, they wasn't talking about being doctors, lawyers, anything else. It was just like you need to be a football player.
Yeah.
And if you don't be a football player, like you have all these people in this town.
And football in the South is like 10 times heavier than it is.
But see that, and that's the problem, and that's why I go back to like it's got to be the kid, not the parent.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you put pressure on somebody, to how do you even know that? What, you don't know what it is that they think about every single day.
Yeah.
For me, I visualize myself scoring touchdowns, making a catch, making a big run, making a block every day. Today of my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday of my life. You know what I'm saying? Since I started playing at 10 years old, right? I envision myself being like Baron Sanders, making people miss, doing crazy shit, right? I was gravitating.
You know the problem with sports. The problem with sports and entertainment compared to like entrepreneurship, like sports. No matter how hard you work and how hard you go, there's still gatekeepers. There's still politics.
Yep.
I hear about the politics all the time. And so you're in a scenario where it's like trying to be a lawyer or a doctor, right? You can go to the library and study medicine. You can go to the library and study law, but you still have to go through this process. Gotta go to law school. Got to get this paperwork. Got to do these things. So there's gatekeepers in front of sports. So you could have had there's a lot of guys who had the same mindset you had. And I'm not trying to discourage anyone. I get it because I'm the same way. I'm a visionary. There's a lot of guys who had the same mindset you had. I'm finna work my ass off. This is all I want to do. But you still at the mercy of somebody saying, we want to bring you in for a workout or we want to draft you.
I'm in that situation right now.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you the difference. Belief. That's why the second part of it is so big. You might get a guy who works his ass off every day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who put in the time, he put in the effort. Now, this didn't happen in every scenario.
Yeah.
But it does happen in a lot of scenarios, but really deep down inside, like in their gut, they don't really believe that goal is attainable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna work hard, but maybe it'll happen.
I think so much.
Who wants to go?
I think so much, and there's two levels to this. I think so much got to go right for you to make it to the NFL or to the NBA or to the Major League Baseball. And making it there is one thing. Making it there and then being successful at it, so that's a whole nother conversation. It's so top heavy. There's only so many guys that are like taking care of generations based on how far they got in the league. So making it there, and then there's levels, there's tiers of guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go against you and say that when you look, it's the same. If you walk into a 7-Eleven, right? That's why I say you're an exception to the rule. Like you've done something completely exceptional. But if you walk into a 7-Eleven and you see that sign that say, okay, you can win the Powerball, play the Powerball. Powerball is $400 million, right? Do you really think you got a realistic chance of winning the Powerball, or you think because you played, you got a shot?
I also just think it's how you think. Like I'm never gonna why would you go in like I'm gonna lose? Like why would you have that?
I get that, but being a realist.
But that could be realistic for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
That could be realistic for me.
Okay.
I'm with her. Okay. You have to, whatever it is, bro, whatever it is, if it's the lottery, some shit that's like 0.0001%, like you just in your mind, like it's that's everything. Like, what is your purpose?
Thoughts.
Like, you gotta believe, because if you don't believe, then you really can't take the proper steps to get to where you want to go.
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing: if you're really gravitated and you really believe, like you really believe, you'll really take the proper steps to get there. And let's say like something happens within that journey, you're gonna be all right because of how you conducted yourself, like how you really committed, like the entire time. But if you're just doing it because it's like, man, you know what I'm saying, this is all I got, you know, like that's a totally different mindset. This is all I got. It's totally different than like I really believe.
Along with all the ups and downs, along with I'm sure there was times where you was like, okay, this ain't gonna work for me. I don't know if
I did last year.
I mean?
Yeah, I did. And
you persevered through all of it.
I did. Yep.
And so
I did. You're gonna have. It's okay to have doubt.
Yeah.
But even through your doubt, right? Even through your doubt, it's what's really deep down. Yeah. Like it's funny because it's like it's like you say like, oh, you love somebody.
Yeah.
You're in love. I love you, right? You can, and you can say that and you can mean that, but like in your gut, you're like, this is really not working for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even in doubt, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like it can happen in an opposite realm. So even in doubt, you're like, man, I don't think this is gonna happen. But deep down, it's like it. You know it is. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're so gravitated to that belief. You know what I'm saying? It's like God. Yeah. It's like you know, if you're religious and you believe in God and you trust in God, and it's just like, man, I don't know, it's COVID. I don't know what's going on. But deep down, you're gravitated knowing that you're gonna be all right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? And the people who aren't all right, their gravitation is different.
Do you still have the same passion? Do you still have the same passion now that you had then?
Yes.
Is it still burning?
Yes. Or else I wouldn't be a free agent wanting to still play.
Yeah.
You have like,
and this is going on. This be what, year number 9?
9.
Yeah, got you.
You have to. There's got to be, you know, there's just something that just has to be like gravitating to you, that you just believe, like, and it's like, so after you have that belief, like, and then you put in the work, you get up at 3 a.m. every morning, and you're at the gym at 4, and you're at the gym again at 6, and you're at the gym again at 11:30. Like, why would I spend my time doing that?
And so I would just like to see, you know, it just bothers me, you know what I mean? I feel like there has to be, you got a ton of, you have a bunch of kids that are at 4-year university studying art, but they like are great, already showing signs of being like a great mechanic or something. You know what I'm saying? There's like, I just think we need to broaden the spectrum somehow. Yeah. On what success is, and try to get some of these you know, young people to believe that there's more than just sports.
That's why I said when you first asked the question, the first thing I said is like, it's really what it is for you, what you want it to be.
And no matter, and you know we do cliche when they say, okay, follow your dreams. If you have a dream to be in the NFL, at what point do Father Time catches up with you, right?
Right. But that's the thing. Like, follow your dreams. Okay, you can tell somebody to follow their dreams. Yeah. What does that mean to that individual, though? That's the important part. Like, you can have a dream of playing in the NFL. Yeah. Okay. But if it doesn't become a goal, then it's just a dream. If you don't believe it, then it's not a real goal.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Then you're just like doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just doing it. There's no real, like, I'm telling you, like, you have to be gravitated. I used to ask my PE teachers, because back in the day, like, you see all these training and shit that goes on with these high school kids and shit, like, they got trainers and shit now. I'm like, God damn, y'all niggas got trainers. You know? Like, I used to ask my PE teachers, like, hey, man, I was going into my senior year. I was a junior in high school, going into my senior year, and I felt like, you know, like, and I wasn't running track anymore because I didn't like it, right? Track is one of those sports you can work on to develop speed, right? But I wanted to get faster, you know? I asked my PE teachers, like, hey, you know, you guys got anything, like, to help me get faster? Like, any workout? My PE teacher, man, printed out 7 workouts for me, like 7 drills for me to do, like, on my own time for me to get faster. You know what I'm saying? So every night, me and my dog would go to the park. I'd do those drills as a junior by myself, me and my dog, Bonnie. Why I named her Bonnie, that's a whole totally different story. Y'all gonna start judging me if I tell you. But I'm doing these drills, and you know, like, it worked. Why did I do that? Why did I seek my PE teachers, out of all people, right, to help me with something that I felt like I was lacking? Because I was gravitated to that shit.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I really believe that, like,
that's kind of a testament to why you know what I'm saying, where you got to, where you at, you know what 100%. I mean, in your career. So I just like going, just to sum it up, we have to like have plan D, plan B's, plan C's. No, I mean, usually I believe, there ain't no plan B or plan C. Plan A, you want it to work so bad.
Plan A.
But we gotta be right.
A.
There is some, being realistic.
I mean, that's the job of individuals, parents, the community to highlight the other options. And I think a lot of times we use, like, the media is strong. Yeah. Social media is strong. So yes, the athletes and the entertainers are highlighted. So, and all you see is all the glam, the cars, the girls, whatever. So kids are automatically gravitating towards that. So it's people in our positions, like people like me, people like you, who are here to voice and show kids that they have other options.
I don't believe in plan Bs. I believe in versatility, meaning that you should have other interests. Like, I was gravitated to football.
Not like
playing. But my dad grew up a mechanic for 40 years. Yeah. On Saturdays, we used to go out in the front yard, work on old school Mustangs and Caddies and Buicks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we worked on everything. You feel me? Yeah. Under the hood, right? Yeah. And I had a passion. Yeah. Like, I had a genuine passion for, like, when I went to college, I wanted my major to be like auto mechanic. They didn't have it, But it's like you have other interests. I play the drums and the piano. Like, there's other interests there, but you can only be gravitated to one. And then, like, hey, you know what? Guess what? If it didn't work out, cry your tears. You feel me? But guess what? Dive into what your other interests are. You know what I'm saying? Things, not necessarily a plan B. You're just going on with something else that you're interested in.
We also have a big time. This is an important time. We got a big election coming up here in November, right?
For real?
Yeah.
You didn't know?
Yeah, we got a big election.
Sips tea.
We got a big election coming up. This is an important time.
Is Kanye really running for president, or is it fake?
Is who?
Kanye.
No, I don't think he's something about like he. Yeah, no. He's not gonna be able to.
I don't count nothing out anymore.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able to.
Trump was running, I thought it was, I was like, what? This is he's a celebrity.
I don't think people have added much, put much stock into that.
All right. You never know. You better watch out.
Yeah, I think right now it's a Trump Biden race. Yeah. I think, but the big news is Kamala. Did I pronounce Kamala Harris? Right now, she's Joe Biden selected her as his running mate or his VP.
Man, he's just trying to get some pub, man.
I think you got a lot of pub. You think it's pub? What you think, Shayla?
He just trying to he went and got him a black woman, and he's just trying to make himself look good right now in a world where Black Lives Matter is heavy and all of that.
I think
I really don't know.
But I think it's important.
That's what you can do here. It's okay.
I really am.
But I do think it's important. We gotta get Trump out of there, right?
Period. Yeah. He needs to go. Yeah. This is a circus.
We do gotta get Trump out. But politics. I think politics is kind of. That conversation is, depending on who you ask, is a sensitive kind of subject, but I don't think politics is the way out for our community. Anyway, I think economics is it.
At the end of the day, it's like, probably majority of the people feel like Trump should be out of office. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's like, for me at least, when I think about it, and voting is important. Mm-hmm. It's important, like I hadn't understood the importance of it, really until this year. I was one of those guys, I'm just being honest, whatever, you never voted, well, whatever, motherfucker, like, I don't care, shit. Like, I never felt like my vote mattered. I always felt like that shit was rigged anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like, I felt like it was fake anyway. Like, you don't know what they doing behind closed doors like that. Like, my vote, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt up until now. But I think it's important,
and I think it's more important too for us to like vote as a block, for us to collectively come together and not be. When it comes to politics, I don't think that's the time for us to be divided. I think we need to be united in that sense. But if you look at wealth, and control all that stuff. Wealth usually pretty much runs politics.
Oh.
You know, in a sense. So I think it literally comes down to us economically, building strength, there, and that's a conversation that we can have. But I do think it's important, for us, to come out, and we have to remove. We have to remove Trump from the White House.
I mean, as much as I have my personal feelings about Kamala, I'm definitely voting for her and Biden.
But is there a reason for that? Like,
unfortunately, it's almost like the lesser of two evils. But I know what Trump has done so far, and I don't fucking like it. So I fucks with Kamala. She's from Oakland. She's a black woman. I'm a black woman. And hey, I'm not hella heavy into politics, but let's see what she can do. Because we already saw what Trump can do and not do. So do we sit back and not do shit?
She's considered herself.
Do we sit back and not do shit? Or do we be like, okay, let's come together and vote and get somebody else in there? Now, at the end of the day, as a black community, we can't just simply rely on politics. They are not going to take care of us.
No, not at all.
We're waiting for a savior. Oh my gosh, we're waiting for Brock to do something. Oh my God, we're waiting for Biden to take care of us. Please save us. Black community, please save us. No.
I figure change, has to come economically. When you look at it, 98% of our dollars, give or take, 98% of our dollars go outside of our, the community. That leaves us with about 2%, right?
Yeah.
So if I give you 98% of my money, say you personally, I give you 98% of my money, right?
Okay, my bad.
And you can live off of 98% of my dollars, then you're gonna be like way ahead, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That leaves me with like 2%. You don't even have to spend any of your money. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to figure out a way to like circulate our money through. First, we got to establish a community. Right now, it seems like we have neighborhoods. You know what I mean? But the community aspect is not in there. It's really not there because you have other. Say you have the Asian community. They'll pull up and they'll open up businesses right there where we've been living for years. You know what I mean? And establish communities, and we just don't have the infrastructure underneath all that. We don't have the businesses. We don't have all that type of thing. So I think that building it economically is the way you really affect change. Because I think that's what it's about.
Is it
no, it's not. It's all a part of something systemic. But I just think that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about. I think it's about building. It's about building wealth. Because you got wealth, you got control. And right now, we don't own anything. We don't control anything.
Really, at the end of the day, for me, it's like, listen, obviously, like who the president is important.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But still, like we all live individual lives.
Yeah.
Like you still gotta regardless, like you gotta handle your business. You gotta adjust to the new terms. You gotta adjust to new rules. You gotta adjust to new laws and stuff like that, right? And you still gotta be about like your business at the end of the day.
Yeah. But what about you said individual, but what about like group economics? You know what I'm saying? What about people learning how to work together more? You'll have a scenario. You'll have a family. You'll have a black family. You'll have every family member live within a 2-mile radius, and everybody has a landlord. You know what I'm saying? When does you'll have 5 people, aunt, cousin, sister, auntie, they all have a landlord. When does it click to be like, okay, maybe we should all stay together, create some type of empowerment, pull our money together instead of doing that, and then let's build it, you know what I'm saying, that way.
Yeah.
Well, we as a community have always, I felt like, brought each other down in that situation. It's like that's women have done it. You hear a guy that lives with his mom. Oh my God, he stayed with his mama, like that nigga broke. Automatically, instead of looking at it as like he's staying with his mom, he's helping his mom, he's saving his money. And I think that's the problem with our community because we don't look at it the same.
Yeah. And every situation is different, but I definitely agree with you on that. Like, building wealth together. You know, all the other cultures do it.
Yeah, for sure.
All the other cultures do it. To be honest, they don't talk about it. It's not advertised. Doesn't need to be, right? But they do, and for whatever reason, we don't do it as well. That's something that I definitely feel like, regardless of who the president is, we can do a better job of.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, man. I think it starts with economically. I think it starts with creating jobs, building wealth, ownership, man. Like
Black Panther.
The people who have the control, is based on wealth and ownership. You know what I mean? You can't equality. To me, equality is like the bare minimum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like equality, like that should be. We fight for equality. Like, what's above that? You know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you, it goes back to what when we were talking about sports. It's the same thing. It goes into everything that you want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? You got to be gravitated towards that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be something that, like, oh yeah, you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, we need to have ownership and we need to do this and we need to do that. But it's like, do you want to? Do you believe in yourself and in the people around you that that's something that's attainable for you and your family, right? And if you do, then you can start taking the necessary steps to reach that goal and achieve that, that process or whatever. But like, we don't do that. We don't believe. We don't we aren't gravitated to that. It just sounds good. And that's the problem.
Yeah. No,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that.
We cool with just like, man, let me get my check on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my check. You know what I'm saying? Other people and cultures, they're gravitated to something a little bit different.
And it has to be bigger than just you individually.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It has to be it has to be something.
But a lot of cultures didn't have the same, and a lot of different backgrounds and ethnic groups didn't have the same upbringing as Black people.
Right.
So I think that plays a big part on just like how we move. We know we need that, but it just has to change. Our mentality has to change. Like how you were talking about, like we're completely divided. We're not divided because we want to be divided. It was why are we divided? You know,
part of that is natural. But
this particular election is one that I don't feel like we need to be divided on.
No.
I think right now we have to. I think we need to go ahead and. I think we've seen enough. I think we've seen enough of an example of what we just based on our leadership right now. Period. Regardless of race, our leadership right now has just been awful. And I think right now we do need new leadership.
I feel that.
So I think we all got a responsibility to go out and change.
That's it.
And do our part to change the leadership right now.
Right now, doesn't work.
But people still are believing as far as he's still leading. I don't even like saying his name. I get so frustrated. But he's leading as far as people who believe that economically they have more confidence in him as far as economics, but I think that has to do with him being a businessman. But everything else, Biden is in the lead as far as COVID response, all those different things. Where we are based on COVID, the pandemic, when you compare it to whatever else is going on in the world and how these other countries and continents, whatever has dealt with it, it's no reason we should be in the rear. And I think that's based on leadership. So I think, to accompany that.
Well, it makes. I understand why we're in the rear.
Before we get out of here, you have a run for you.
Yeah, running for you.
Running for you.
Yeah,
that's your nonprofit, organization. You want to tell the people a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the my Running for You Foundation is it's based on people who have multiple sclerosis and cerebral palsy. Both my oldest sister, she passed away when she was 21 of multiple sclerosis. Okay, and my other oldest sister, I'm the youngest of four. She had cerebral palsy when she was born. And she just recently passed last December. But she was Tiffany was her name. Extraordinary person. She couldn't, speak move anything on her body. Only thing she could move was her head side to side, and she, you know, she would, you know, basically laugh, cry, or whine, or just make noise similar to like a newborn baby, you know. So she lived all the way up until she was about 40, and she was basically like a 4-year-old baby. Had to change her diaper and all this kind of stuff, right? But when she was born, you know, the doctors told my father that she had 5 years to live, max, you know. And you know, if you don't want to deal with that, you can just, you know, you can leave her with us. We can put her, you know, in some sort of home or something like that. And my dad was totally, I mean, with no hesitation. I mean, like totally against that. He's like, man, what are you talking about? That's my daughter, you know? And, you know, she lived all the way up until she was 40. So she beat that by 35 years, you know, from what the doctors were saying. And so, so my foundation is geared towards people who have those diseases. We want to help them out. I named it Running For You because all my life, you know, like people like, man, you know, you have aspirations of being in the NFL. Why? And of course, like part of it is, you know, being great, you know, just like being a great player overall. But the most important part of it, the other part of it, is the fact that like, man, like I want to go to the NFL. I want to be a great player so that one day I can come back to my city and give back. And show these kids that like, no matter where you come from, I was the first person in history to get a football scholarship. First person in history to become a pro at the school, you know, whatever, 50 years of its existence. And I want to come back. I want to come back and I want to give back, you know, to the city. And I want to be able to show these young kids that no matter what, no matter where you come from, no matter what your circumstance, you can do anything. You can do anything you want to do. You can be anything that like you want to be, period. And so every time I run the ball, every time I get the ball and I'm running it, I'm running for my dad and my family and, you know, the people who look up to me and stuff like that. I'm running for you.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And not just myself. And that's why I named it that.
So how can the people go out and support? You know, how can they follow what you got going on with, you know, Running For You? You got a website?
You can go to my website, robertjturbin.com. It's got a bunch of information on all the things that I have coming up in the future as it pertains to like charity events, things like that. You can donate to the foundation from there. You can you know, obviously sign up for the events and everything like that as well. Be a part of them if you like. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the main spot, my website, robertjturbin.com. And when you go there, you know, you can search for the Running For You Foundation. You can donate, but you'll obviously see all the other things that I'm involved with as well.
How do you see this upcoming season turning out? You see it? You think they're gonna go through with it?
Football?
Yeah, football.
Well, I mean, everybody's at practice. We're gonna play. You know, we're definitely gonna play. Now, whether or not we finish the season is another story. But why think negative? I think that, you know,
I'm saying because I really want to take this opportunity to educate Shayla on X's and O's. There's gonna be some X's and O's lessons going on.
Oh yeah,
this season.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna be learning the game a little bit.
Yeah, I need to learn the game.
Good.
I mean, because, you know, like I played basketball, I ran track, all of that, but football, I mean, I would watch it, but I didn't really touch them.
I think we'll have a season. I'm hopeful that like as the season progresses, we can start having some fans. It's gonna be different out there without any fans. But listen, at the end of the day, like, you know, if you love the game, you got passion, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna compete. And you know, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be a wrap, people. Thank you again for coming out. One Against the Grain, where you gonna get it unfiltered. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Show.